So welcome back, everybody. So I'm here for my third part of this series of a father's journey with a son who has a seizure disorder. So I hope everyone had a wonderful and blessed Easter. Just got back to my apartment, was home for a week, able to spend time with my family, and just wanted to start off, like I mentioned in the last video, that with some statistics and some issues, over the next couple years that we had, experienced. Mainly, he had good control. Our son had good control with one medicine, Tegretol, that we were giving him by syringe 3 times a day. So backtracking here a little bit. So the incidence of epilepsy is roughly 1 in 26. There's about 150,000 new cases each year diagnosed in the United States of epilepsy. Majority, it usually starts young children or older adults. So, children have a higher incidence, but the other side, or the other plus to this is also that 70% of people who develop epilepsy or seizure disorder, are controlled with one medicine. People that are in that 30% rough group are not controlled. It's called refractory epilepsy. And our son at the time was in the controlled group. So when he turned roughly 3 years old, we decided to try some medicine, same Tegretol, but extended release, meaning you give 2 pills twice a day as opposed to a syringe. So we started that a little bit, and things seemed to be going well. And then after around the 2-year mark, our doctor decided to talk to us about weaning him down off of the Tegretol, because usually at 2 years with a little child, they try to get him off the medicine. If he's doing well, if he's responding well, then they will try to get him off the medicine. So we started weaning him off the medicine. And he just started having seizures all the time. It was just like nonstop. And so right away, within the first couple weeks, we jumped that Tegretol back up, and we never really had control again after that. So that started the downhill spiral. A lot of his seizures started happening mainly in his sleep. And it was almost like it seemed like he would wake up, he would just be very tense. You could hear him shoot up out of his bed. He'd make noises. You'd go in there and he was tense, he was jerking, he was seizing up and down. So we started talking to the doctor about this. Of course, I think we made 1 or 2 trips by ambulance right away when this started happening. And I can't even begin to tell you how many times we called 911. And, of course, the police would show up first, and then the borough EMS, paramedics. They always send the police out because you never know if it's some type, if it's a child abuse, if it's something, whatever the case is, they send the police out to make sure there's no issues. After a while, the police just stopped coming because they knew it was us. That we lived in the same borough for 23 years, so they knew it was us. So as the years went on, 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old, we changed neurologists, and our new neurologist felt after several EEGs and more evaluations, sleep studies, that they were night tremors, which to us was like, maybe it's changing, maybe they are, maybe he'll outgrow them. So in the meantime, our emotions were up and down. Like I said, I would pull away. My wife and I never seemed at the time to be on the same page together. I would be up here, I'd be, upset. Then I'd start to come down, accept it a little bit. My wife would be up, she'd be down. It seemed like we always had this issue about coming together and coming together and trying to share feelings with each other, because I was working full time and I'd come home and there'd be issues. So anyhow, that being said, so we kind of felt good about the diagnosis of sleep terrors is what this doctor called it. And so we went on, and this continued for 3, 4, 5 years till he was 7 or 8, 9 years old. And it was just up and down. He had an IEP, he had an individualized education plan when he started first grade, second grade, third grade. He had learning disabilities. We were constantly, in touch with the teachers and things. And it was one of those emotional high, emotional low. Then we're being pulled this way by the teachers. We're being pulled this way by doctors. We're being it was never ending. So I'm already here. I'm coming up on 6 minutes. I want to try to keep these videos around 5 to 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes max. So, but the next few years, we just saw a steady progression and, or I should say, a digression of his seizures. We never got control again. And when I start this next series, part 4, tell you how many epilepsy medications that we went on. I can't even count anymore. I think we're into 14 or 15 different types that we have tried. And as people know who are taking care of someone with seizure disorder, if you don't get control with the one and you put a second one on, a third one, each time you put an additional medicine on, you get less and less and less control. You might get a honeymoon period to start initially, but after that, you just don't have control at all anymore. So I just want to leave you there. I'll have another one posted very soon. I just wanted to get this one out there, and hope everyone, again, has a wonderful day. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.